this is a quick smash and grab video. Hello folks and welcome back. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Right, EVO 8, Mitsubishi EVO 8. This is Ricky's car for the LLF Games. Someone could be winning it this Sunday, 10:30. Well, someone may already have won it, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go for a quick drive in this because I am a sucker for Mitsubishi EVOs. What do I love about them? Well, the rally history, of course. You know, people say to me, am I a Scooby, am I an Evo fan? It depends on what generation, personally. This is the 8th generation Mitsubishi Evo. It's the FQ340, so stock, they produce 340 horsepower. This one's got quite a few modifications done to it. Originally, they come with a 6-speed manual gearbox. This one has got the reinforced 5-speed because they seem to, gearbox issues seem to be an Evo thing. It's got the infamous active yaw control, you know, that clever four-wheel drive system, you know, tar, gravel, snow, all that sort of stuff. But it's been deleted. Whether that's a good thing or not, we'll find out. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a drive and see what's what. If you're new to the channel, once again, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so you can see more content like this. Tell you what, let's have a little walk around of this Evo. As you can see, it looks very, very serious. It's got these vortex generators, which helps with the aero, brings it down to the wing. Obviously, what makes all Evos special is the wing. I mean, look at that, that is proper fat. It's got the MR style wheels, which are a little bit more lightweight. As you can see, it's got Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. Should I even mention? They don't even chuck me tyres. Look at this, it's got the Rally Art design bucket seats. It's got the Rally Art short shifter, 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's got upgraded dump valve, upgraded wastegate, upgraded intercooler, 400 horsepower, very, very light, and it looks properly serious. And it's got mud flaps, you know, because rally car, obviously. Ricky's over there. Hello, Ricky. Hello, buddy. How you doing? You're right. You're right. He's not going to be in this video. He's got to rush off. He's going to do some boxing and all that sort of stuff. He's actually got a life unlike me, where I just go around and talk about cars too much. But yeah, look at it. It's so cool. I know it's basic JDM inside, but to me, you know, a lot of people get proper seedy into interiors of cars. If you said to me a brand new RS3, which, don't get me wrong, is bloody awesome. If you said to me a new RS3, one of these, I'd still take one of these, because to me this is pure driving at its absolute form. Here he is, look at him, it's Ricky. I don't even know if this mic's going to pick. Yeah, you're going to have to shout. How you doing, mate? You're right. You're going to leave me alone with this, aren't you? You're trusting me with your yeah. There you go. Look, I'm waiting for that raised eyebrow. Like, oh, right? Yeah, I've plugged it. I've already plugged it. We're plugging away. Yeah, $199 this Sunday. But it could be 3 months after the video. You might have 10 Evos after. You know what I'm like with the upload. This is a 6 videos in now. Yeah, exactly. I've got a terrible backlog. But no, you love Evos,
mate. Absolutely love them. I own 2 now. I've probably done what 500-600 reviews on the internet, and I rated the Evo as my favourite car.
And I agree with you. I love them. I love them. You know, everybody goes to me, oh, you're a Porsche fan, Sid, blah, blah, blah. You do too many Germans. No, when it comes to the JDM stuff, it's right up there. Hopefully one day I'll own one. If you subscribe, maybe you'll see one in the channel eventually.
Yeah, no, these are like, so this is the 8. So the further we go into the evolutions, the more sort of easier they drive. Like when you go back to the 6 that I just bought, way more raw, but the way these turn in, like you're saying about the RS3, these are just another level.
Yeah, no, they are. I know. Grip. Yeah, exactly. You know, proper four-wheel drive. None of this Howdeck bullshit. Yeah. You know, Howdeck's four. You know, everybody goes, oh yeah, Golf R, bro. You know, fucking Golf R. Yeah, exactly. Whereas this is proper serious. But it's got the AYC delete, which I'll talk about it a little bit more on the drive. We went out for a drive and we thought, what's going on here?
Usually they can fail, don't they? So then sometimes they call it a delete, right?
Yeah, they call it a delete because matey saw the bill and he thought, nah, I'm not having this. Yeah, it's a delete. Yeah, I've deleted it. You don't need it.
It's a lot of money, man. Honestly,
I know.
Once upon a time they were like 15. What? About 2 years ago, 15 grand?
Yeah, I know. They've shot up. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And they're only going to keep going up. I mean, what? FQ400 9s, you know, they were 20 grand.
50 grand.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. And I'd still take one of those over a new RS3. And it's no hate to the RS3 and A45S, but I just feel like if Mitsubishi came back on the game right now, they would terrorise it.
And
they
what
would.
the convo was having? Like, it's sad, isn't it? Because these are drivers' cars. Like Renault, we both love.
Yeah, Renault's fault. Right? Yeah, absolutely.
But performance, it's not where the money is it?
No, it isn't.
Like
It isn't.
GT3s would
Yeah,
be
exactly,
like, you know,
exactly. They have to sell Outlanders and all that, you know, boring stuff. That's the way of the world. That is the way of the world. It's a bit like our content. We like to do high quality, but we know it's not realistic. So that's why I'm shooting on an iPhone. That's why I'm shooting on an iPhone. We got to make it realistic. So you know, carry on, mate. Carry on. So yeah, look, I'm not going to talk too much. We're going to go out, go for a drive, and see what's what. Right then, here we go. Evo 8. Initially, first impressions when you sit in here, obviously a lot of it is original. Obviously the hi-fi is different. It's got like one of those Pioneer aftermarket stuff. But you do sit quite high. These seats are quite snazzy, these Rally Art seats. Love Rally Art. Growing up watching WRC. Yeah, sick. Right, let's go for a drive. So, initial impressions. I've driven a few Evos, 7s, 6s, but it's been a few years since I've driven them. And, you know, this one, from as far as I can tell, it's very civilized actually. It doesn't feel like, you know, a heavily boosted car. You know, you can see out of it really well. It's got 5 seats, it's got a big boot. It's a family saloon car. So in terms of its appearance and its road manners, it seems very chilled out, it seems very relaxed. You can actually daily an Evo if you don't mind the fuel bills. Now, if you haven't seen a video in the past of my Audi RS3 review, the new one, I went as far as saying that, you know, it's close to an Evo as it can be. However, the four-wheel drive setup and the systems and how technology has moved on, it's not quite as raw. Obviously, it's a very civilized place to be in. You know, essentially it's an A3 with a brilliant 5-cylinder engine, but you can't help but think that, all right, we live in a world now where we've got four-wheel drive Golf Rs, we've got, you know, A45 AMG S's. You're getting this, and it just tells you that, do you know what? Old is better, literally. Because, yeah, it's all fair well saying that, yeah, you know, the Golf R is, you know, pointy and much more nicer to live with. But if you want sheer driving pleasure, and that's something that I want in a car more than anything, I couldn't give a flying monkeys what the interior build quality is like. If it puts a smile on my face, that's it. And it's still aesthetically pleasing. There's not a single squeak or rattle in this car. It's done 84,000 miles and it feels as tight as anything. It's really well put together. Yeah, it just feels solid, which is also very nice. The 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder, which comes in all Evos. You can have a FQ 300, 340. In later models, they were the 400. Obviously, this started out in life as a 340. So they came with a 6-speed manual gearbox. This one's had the 5-speed added to it, mainly because it's just stronger, especially when it's been modified. This one's got a stage 2 tune, I believe, so it's 400 horsepower. And if you can hear that turbo wastegate, I mean, let me roll on in 3rd gear. Wow, it's just full of character. Yes, it doesn't sound as great as an RS3 5-cylinder, but then it's not a comparison. This is we're jumping into an 18-year-old car. Does it live up to today's world? Because, you know, the game has moved on, and I do genuinely believe and think that if Mitsubishi came back on the game and made an Evo, it would completely wipe the floor out of the other rival cars. It just would. Anyway, let's talk about the way this thing drives. For starters, the steering. It's so pointy, so direct. In terms of, you know, 3-point turns, it's an absolute pain in the backside. But with this, it feels quick, and it feels quite natural. It's scarcely light, the steering, I will say that. It's very, very light. Is that necessarily a bad thing? I suppose not. I mean, it just means that you can thread it down the road with so much accuracy, which is also quite nice. You also notice that the gearbox is short, stubby, precise. This one's got an upgraded clutch and flywheel. Just means that heeling and towing is that little bit more sweet. In fact, let's try some heel and tow right now. Oh yes, let's give it some in 3rd gear. Let's just see what it's all about. Wow. Okay, so there's not much turbo lag. That's not necessarily down to the turbo. It's because this 5-speed gearbox is a very short ratio box. It's closely stacked. It just means that you're on the power band all of the time. Yes, it means that on the, you know, on the 70 mile an hour cruise on the M25 on the way home, it's going to be quite noisy, quite inefficient. You're going to drink a load of fuel, but who cares in an Evo? Yeah, even though this is a 340, it's developing 400 horsepower, and it's a strong 400 horsepower. I do think it's more than that. It does feel a lot more than that, because we're filming it in the evening. Obviously the air quality is a little bit cooler, so obviously that's nicer for the turbocharger. But yeah, let's give it something second. Yeah, that feels strong, properly strong. Yeah, if you love rallying, you can't help but feel like Tommy Mackinnon in one of these. It's just, yeah, it's cool. It's a vibe. That's what the Evo is. It's a vibe. It's got so much character, so much joy. In fact, let's just see what it's like when you roll on in fourth. Let's see if we can find any turbo lag in this. Right, 2,000 RPM. I put my foot down, a bit of lag, and then we're off. This thing's cool. This thing's really cool. And yes, you have got tons of grip, but it's got so much communication and feedback. And this 5-speed manual box is such a joy. You know, heeling and towing is just a joy in this car. You know, going down to third. Yeah, the fact that it's close ratio and closely stacked, it's brilliant. The only thing that's missing is you want one of those hydro handbrakes for your 3-point turn, shall I say. They should incorporate that as a law. Why do 3-point turns? If you've got like a set-up license and you've taken the handbrake training course, I'd much rather just whip the handbrake and do a 3-point turn. I won't do it in this car, obviously, and I'm not encouraging it, I'm not condoning that sort of thing on the public road, of course not. But why can't we just have that? It'd be much easier. The road network would be much quicker. Especially when you miss a turn, you can just go, turn it around and go the other way. But yeah, its road manners is quite alright. The ride's stiff, it's running on MR wheels, but again, the steering feels really nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come to a halt right now. I'm going to go into first gear. It's tricky launching four-wheel drive cars. I'm not going to launch it too hard. I'm just going to go roll on. Had a V-Box or something on here, there is no doubt in my mind that this car can't do a 0-60 in sub 3 seconds. I genuinely mean that. It feels properly strong. I wish the seat was a bit lower, but then there's nothing that an aftermarket bracket can't do. Some might argue for the short people that it's easy to see over. Yeah, I love it. I do like it. I could live with one of these. Some of you might go, well, you know, you're a young guy. But no, I think even if you're a middle aged bloke, I think it's not really too much of a problem at all. It feels alright. It feels good. Like I said, 3-point turns is a bit of a pain. And then you can use the old handbrake, can't you? I like it. I do genuinely like it. The AYC active yaw control, it's had a delete. You can tell it's a proper four-wheel drive system. I can sense something that's going on with the rear axle. Something that I can't say for more other modern hot hatches, hyper hatches, if I'm honest, apart from the A45S and the RS3. But yeah, it just feels really cool. It just feels really nice. It's raw, it's taut, you feel alert. This 5-speed gearbox, the fact that it's close ratio is even nice. Yeah, and that turbo flutter, I don't know if you can hear some of that, but listen to it. Oh, yeah, that is properly cool. What are the drawbacks? I suppose running costs can be a bit of an issue. Like I said, the gearbox is unknown for going, active yaw control, rust is another thing on Evos that you need to look out for. But then, it's 18 years old. You're going to expect stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to make is this is the first time I've jumped into a car of this age and caliber, and you know me by now. I like reviewing older cars on the channel, and and I like reviewing cars that I grew up and, you know, lusted after and wanting to drive. And this is the first time I've hopped into one of these and I've gone, yeah, why the hell do you want an RS3? And I'm not taking that away from an RS3, but if you're properly into driving, if you're a man that adores 992 GT3 Tourings and, you know, E46 M3 CSLs, this has got to be right up there, isn't it? It has to be. It has to be. It's a serious bit of kit. You know, the steering's nice. It's got a pointy front end. Obviously, not as pointy. Well, when I say not as pointy, what I mean by like that is you can't really push that much on the public road, but it just feels so sure-footing. So, some of the drawbacks. Right, that close ratio gearbox, not as close as you think it is. The first 4 gears is absolutely fine. 5th is a bit long. I feel like when you're, unless you're absolutely ragsing it at the top of 4th, you feel like there's a bit of a gap, and the turbo does have to work a little bit harder. You sort of come off the power band. Normal driving, that's not an issue, and I can see why it's been, you know, extended a little bit longer in 5th, obviously for motorway speeds, and just drop those revs down a little bit, makes the engine a little bit more efficient, less noisy, all that sort of stuff. What else? Oh yeah, this Pioneer aftermarket system. I tried to put the radio on earlier. Doesn't really work. Looks like it's come from 2010. Again, not really the car's fault. Whoever the previous owner was has obviously put in their own aftermarket system. That's it. I love EVOs. I love EVOs. That's it. That's it for me for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this sort of content, please like, please subscribe, hit the bell notification icon to see more content like this. And yeah, I'm going to try and do as many videos as I can in whatever format possible. So yeah, like and subscribe. Until next time, folks, see you later.